Hello everybody, it's Julian or Flow Graphics here, and welcome to the day in the life of an indie game developer. So I know it's been a while, but I've been working on a game for the past sort of 6 to 12 months, and this has been my day and how I sort of spent my time working on the game. So it was a bit of a fun day today. I actually went to a waterfall, did some cool stuff, and then I worked on the game at night when I came home. So this is just me getting all my stuff ready. This is my actual desk setup. If you haven't seen it before, just sort of cleaning up. I like to have everything clean for when I get back in the afternoon, but here it is here. So I have a nice sort of ergonomic chair. I like to have some greenery and things in the room as well. Sort of gone for this simplistic look lately with sort of the wireless keyboard and the mouse and everything, but I love it. I really love where I work. It's an awesome place. So we're all packed already, and yeah, so we had to see Steph's dog, my girlfriend. Her family just got a new dog, so we thought we'd go visit that dog first. This is my car. I love my car very much. It's a fun car to drive. But yeah, we went and visited her dog, which is really cute. His name's Joey, so he was fun just to pat. But yeah, I always enjoy going out and actually doing things like this. Otherwise, I just don't have the headspace to be able to work on games. I need to go out, experience nature, even get inspiration from the nature around me, and just sort of live my life. And I find getting out on the weekends like this it's really good to have that sort of yin and yang in your life. If you're working hard on the computer, you need to be able to explore nature and just chill out a little bit, put your feet in the sand and just experience nature. It's really good for the mind and the body. And then yeah, we had a little bit of fun in the car on the way home. But pretty much after that, I was just straight back into it. It was just a full night of working on the game. So what you can see me do now is planning. So something I haven't been doing enough recently with my game has been planning. I recently sort of came to a bit of a roadblock where I basically didn't know where to go next. My whole game was a huge mess, and I basically ended up deleting huge chunks of my game, completely reformatting things, restructuring all the file systems, and remaking a lot of code, and basically sitting down and creating a lot more just a plan, just a really accurate sort of succinct plan that I'd actually follow. And it's been really good for me so far. Usually I'm pretty good with these sorts of things, but for some reason for this game project I've been too eager to just work on it rather than actually planning. So what you can see me now is actually planning the UI, and it worked out really well. So this is basically, I'm creating, right now you can see me, I'm creating the UI containers for all of the items, and I'm actually creating the system that will be used for pick-upable items, equipable items, and all of that. So I'm basically making the UI. I'm just making some terrible little icons just to, they took me 2 seconds. I thought about making some icons that are decent. I go, oh, I'm going to just delete them anyway, so I'll just draw with my hand on Photoshop. But yeah, so we've got the hotbar on the top right, which will have your weapons and your consumables and things like that. And then I'm also creating the UI that a vendor would have, and I basically hook up all the stats. So you'll have an item, which I basically end up making into a scriptable object, which I'll show you after this little speed recording. And yeah, and then I basically hook all of those stats, the items, up to the UI, so the UI automatically changes based on what the item is. So you can change the color of the top bar, all the text, what it takes to craft that item, all those different details just automatically update based on whatever item is hooked into it. And this is how I'm basically going to have the system for my game for putting an item in a furnace, buying it from someone, crafting, whatever. It's all going to use the same system, and then I can just sort of change it depending on how I feel. I actually ended up working a couple extra hours this morning on the game too, and I actually got a fair bit done, so I'll quickly show you. Okay, so here's my game. I'll just full screen it so you guys can see a bit easier what's happening. So yeah, this is my game. A lot of you probably haven't seen it in its current, well, none of you have actually, none of you have seen it in its current iteration. So this is my game. It's a top-down, I don't know really, it's survival, not so much survival, but sort of, it's sort of RPG-ish, survival-ish, crafting, tower defense, base building game. That's the only way I can sort of describe it right now. You're this little character, you can chop down trees. Usually you don't one-hit the trees, I've just lowered the health on it. You can collect resources, you can sort of interact with the world around you and basically build up your island. You can build, there's base building, so I can build some base parts here. All this is obviously, I have an error. Ignore that. So yeah, all of this is obviously still in prototyping stage. Okay, I'm not going to build for now because that's created some sort of error. So the item system is all up and running. So if I'm my little guy here, if I hover over these items, When I'm too far away, nothing happens. And then if I run up to them, then a little blue outline pops up around them. And if I click on the item, it actually shows the UI container describing that item and with all of its attributes. So it's really cool. I love this. I think it looks really, really awesome. So it's pretty simple too. Like it's not super hard to do. So all I basically did was each one of these items has sort of two meshes. It has a main mesh and then has an outline mesh, and the outline mesh just simply has a shader, which just basically renders the outline of the mesh with a thickness. So I'm just turning on and off that object that gives it the outline. And then all of these items have a script, so it has sort of a triggers volume that basically enables it to be sort of interacted with, which is why you can't interact with it when the player is outside of that volume. And then it has its actual physical collider, so that's what detects the mouse over input when you get close. And then all of the vendor items have this generic script that basically I just hook up all the UI components. So I have this sort of canvas here, which is just sort of a world space canvas that just floats in front of my camera. So you may think that's weird, like in the game it looks like it's right there, and then in the camera it's up here. So it's basically just relative to the position of everything, except it's right up next to my canvas, so none of the world objects actually interact with it. And then all of this dynamically changes based on the actual weapon. So I've hooked up everything. I've got all the sort of the slots for the item and all the attributes, and then I have these scriptable objects. So if I go to this weapon golden spear here, you can see I have all these settings, so I can name it. I can see what type of item it is, damage, hit speed, tier, attributes, what icon it has, the color, which changes the color of that top bar. The only way I can actually make that update is by restarting the game. So I'll do that. So I'll show you basically it all is just fully automatic, fully modular. So it's really, really easy to create new items. So I can make that a different color, and I can call this flow spear because I can't think of anything else. And then I can just type in hello into there, and then we can make it cost just one wood. So add one item, and there's just one wood, and then I can make whatever icon I want. So maybe it costs one pickaxe to make, which is a bit strange. So and then if I hit play, because that golden spear, that scriptable object is hooked up to that physical item in the game, if I have an error, I'll have to fix that. If I walk up to it and click on it, you can see flow spear, hello, one pickaxe, and it all just automatically all works. So it's not hooked up to actually buying. I haven't created the whole sort of crafting and exchange system yet. It won't be too hard to do, and it automatically turns off if you run away. If you run out of the trigger sphere, it automatically turns off. One thing I have done though is, if I maximize it, is I created the actual system to equip items. So you can see on the right hand side here, I have various random things. This doesn't really represent it very well, but basically R1 and your sort of side weapon will be your main weapons, and you can hit Q to swap your weapons. But at the moment I just done it to X on my keyboard because the building system's Q. So I can just swap between these two weapons. They currently have the same object, the world model, so that's why it's not swapping in my hands. And then I can swap to 2, which is a sword, and then I can swap through all these different items, and it actually changes the model and it changes the attributes and everything that are currently being used for those items. So the 1 and then the sidearm will be your main weapon that you actually attack people with. Number 2 will be your pickaxe. Number 3 will be your axe for obviously gathering materials. And then number 4 will be some sort of consumable. You can put a potion, an apple, something else like that. And then number 5 will be some sort of, I'm actually not sure yet, some sort of like a backpack or an armor item or something else. I'm still not sure, but I can make as many sort of slots as I need. But that's sort of general where I'm up to the game. I sort of fully made this whole item system working now. And you can just click on things and that's going to work for everything in the game. I just put this little person here just because it looks cool. And so that's basically where I'm up to. For my long-time viewers, I know it's been a long time since I've uploaded a video. I've been working very hard. I work full-time, so this is a weekend. What you just saw was my weekend. I try and work on my game a couple hours every day, whether it's before work, really early in the morning, or after work at night. So progress is slow, but I'm trying, and I need to I basically make use of my weekends as much as I can to get out, as well as spend a lot of time working on my game. I'm going to try upload these sorts of little day in the life videos. I had a lot of fun making it. So I think it could be a really cool thing that it makes it fun for me and fun for you guys to watch and get sort of an insight as to what it's like to actually just work on games full time, especially for someone that also works full time and has a job. So hope you all enjoyed. Let me know if there's anything specific you'd like to see in the next video. I'm not sure exactly. There's a few things I need to work on, but hopefully crafting and actually item purchasing and swapping in and out will all be working, and a couple other things as well. But I'll see you in the next video, everybody. I hope you have an amazing day. As always, it's been Flow Graphics or Julian here. See ya.